The next task or requirement engineering is specification. Specification is mostly we talk about a written document where both party agrees. So the specification, it can be a written document. We have a proper SRS IEEE number. Then we have the graphical model we can have. We can make a pie chart, graph chart like this, or a formal mathematical model. We have already talked about the formal model. Then you can have use case scenarios or usage scenario, or even you can make a very low fidelity prototype. Or all these combination also can be there. So specification is not only the document, it can be the one of these, or it can be multiple permutation combination of all these. Most of the people, they suggest we have to make a standard template. As I said, we already have a IEEE standard for this. Okay, so there has to be some standard template. If some company is making their own template, it is good. And then we have to use this so that everyone sees this and this is consistent and people can understand it also, both the parties. Sometimes we need to be flexible with these requirements, the specification. What I'm trying to suggest here is, if the system or the software is large, for example, if you get a project of 20 crores or 100 crores, you have to write a document. You have to combine these natural language description also, that is the user can understand, you can also understand, and you can add it with the graphical models also. But for a smaller product, and when the needs are very clear, the environment is clear, for example 2 lakh project or 5 lakh project, the usage scenario is enough. Okay, so for a small project, SRS will do, or even the usage scenarios will do. For a large one, you need a combination of all these. So this is the SRS template, and as I said, we already have the IEEE standard for it. So this SRS has all the content that you have to make whenever you are making a software requirement specification. So it has all the information. There are certain system features. The third point is very important. Third section. So you can make it by yourself. Table of contents, revision history. Then the introduction. For this, you'll write the purpose of the software, the document conventions, what are the intended audience, what are the reading suggestions. If somebody wants to read more, what is the project or software scope, what are the references. Then you have the second section, which is called the overall description. What is product perspective, what are product feature, user classes and characteristics, what environment it is going to work on, the operating environment. For example, it is going to work on Windows 10 or Linux. Design and implementation constraint, what are the limitations, the user documentation, what are the assumptions and dependencies, say on some other system. These are the actual thing. These are the system feature 1, system feature 2. Sometimes people also write it as use case. So they also add the figures. Sometimes they also tend to add the diagrams, UML diagrams. Then external interface requirement, what are the user interfaces, hardware interfaces, software interfaces, the communication interfaces, whichever is applicable. You can write it here like this. And the NFRs, like the non-functional requirement, those which are not in the functionality but you need it. Performance requirements, safety requirements, security requirements, software quality attributes, like the usability, maintainability, like this. Then there are other requirements also you can add here, and there can be some appendix if you want to add glossary, analysis models if you have made some, and the issues list. So this is the SRS template. If you ever write this, you can follow this. This is the SRS template.